time to make some truffles. Hey, Tina, truffles? Yeah. We're going to make some really yummy cranberry orange truffles because they go really, 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 really well together. We're just going to bring some stuff over that I prepped ahead of time. And it's really simple to make these. We're going to do a cup of oatmeal. Okay. Doesn't have to be quick oats or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just throw them in there. Okay. And that was sea salt, a little pinch of sea salt. Yes. Oh, by the way, I had asked that earlier. Sea salt full of minerals. Okay. It's better than the sodium chloride. It will not raise your blood sugar, your blood pressure. I meant that was a quarter cup of almond flour. I do everything gluten free. You don't have to, but I do. And then we're going to do maple syrup. Yum. 2 tablespoons. That's it. That's all it takes to sweeten this because we're going to use some dried cranberries. Now, these cranberries that I bought, I got these from my organic market, Mom's. They're organic sweetened cranberries. There's no sulfur in here, sulfites I meant, and they're sweetened with apple juice. Okay, I don't think cranberries really need sweetening because I like them just the way they are. And this is freshly squeezed orange juice, and there's not enough. So I'm going to have to squeeze a little bit more, but I'll do that in a second. Let's get some zest. You want to zest fresh, first of all, organic, and I washed it. Okay. And just 1, 2, 3, and turn. 1, 2, 3, and turn. 1, 2, 3, and turn. It's okay if you get a little of the white stuff, the pith in there, but don't get too much because it can get bitter. And why do we want the zest of an orange? We're getting the cow of flavor and a little bit of the oil, okay? And always zest before you juice, because if you juice after you zest, it will be hard to zest your orange. If you don't have a zester, oh my gosh, it's so convenient to have one. The little zest out from underneath it. Okay. Now, if you don't want to zest an orange, it's okay. You can do an orange extract. And I'm going to do a little bit of vanilla extract. And if you want a real pop of orange flavor, you could do the orange extract as well. What am I missing? I needed a little bit more orange juice, right? I needed a little bit more juice. So I was a teaspoon short. And you kind of, with this particular recipe, those both had vegetables on them. Let me get another knife that is clean. By the way, back to knife skills for a minute. I am not going to put this knife anywhere where it will clank up against the other knives. I'm going to put it where it won't clank up because when they clank, it'll put the knives and it'll make them not sharp and dangerous. Okay, so just take note of how I have my knives over here. Kind of important. This might be too much juice. I need just a little bit, but I can drink that later or put it in a mocktail. Put it in a mocktail. Food processor. And at first I pulse it. All right, then I'm going to turn it on full force. And we're going to wait till this forms a blob. Okay. Don't worry, I've made these already. They're in the fridge, but I'm going to show you how to make them here. Almost to a blob state. We are almost to blobbish. Okay. So I want you to get your spatula and I'll show this to you so you can see it. I'm just going to push it all down. The last batch, there was a bunch of maple syrup at the bottom, and I didn't do this. So I'm going to do this here. This looks just about done. I'm going to give it another couple of swirls here. Okay. Always tricky to put that back in. Just a couple more whirls. Don't be afraid to put cranberries in your salads and your smoothies, fresh cranberries. They are so, so, so good for you. So good for you. People think, oh, they're too tart. They need sugar. Look how gorgeous they are. Gosh, I just looked at them in the bowl over here. They're so pretty. They're so good for you. I love them. So here we have it. Let's get rid of the blade. All blades, including knives, I make sure that they're not thrown in the sink, that I put them in a safe spot so that I can hand wash them and put them and store them and dry them in a certain way, just so that you are aware of them. I cannot emphasize knife skills enough. Can you tell? Can you tell? All right. So here I have, these are called dishers. They're not ice cream scoops, they're dishers. You can do big truffles, you can do smaller truffles. I decided to do smaller truffles. I thought this one was just way too big. And then you're going to get your tray. So let's get the tray out here. Look at that, right on time. That was 10 minutes, and I'm just going to shake my basket. I'm going to show these to you now because they're not going to be done by the end of the show, but just shake them up a little bit. We're going to cook them for another 10 minutes. Sorry, they're not going to be done by the end of the show, but then we're going to serve them up with that balsamic glaze that I made. This is the one I did not burn that I made before the show. Look how thick it is. This one has the onions in it. How thick it is. It's wonderful too. Because it's not burned. Okay, where were we? We're making truffles, right? I pulled out of the oven. These are the truffles that I made earlier. And this is how you're going to do it. You're going to get your disher, or you can get a teaspoon, okay? You don't need, this is cacao powder. Cacao powder. I got, this is from Shiloh Farms, cacao powder. Just wanted to show this to you. It's non-alkaline. And this one is organic, non-GMO, non-alkalized, really good, yummy. I'm a chocolate, just a fanatic. I love chocolate. I think it's so good for you. So cacao powder. And over here I have coconut. Some people love coconut, some people hate it. Now, you can do this one of two ways. You can do it the lazy way, just pop them in there, right? You can pop them in there and then roll them. Or you can do it the non-lazy way. Put it in your hand, roll it nicely, and then roll it in the cacao powder. It literally makes no difference. They will both come out pretty much round. This is the one that I didn't put in my hand first, and this is the one that I did put in my hand first. Really no difference, right? And or the coconut flakes. Get unsweetened. Coconut is sweet to begin with. You don't need any more sweetener in the coconut. So there we have it. All right, so a couple of things. I can do the rest of these while we're talking here, but I would love to give you my free Guilt-Free Holidays ebook. Caitlin is going to put the link in the chat. Yes, you have to give your email address. Do not put your work one in there. There's a firewall. You will never receive it. Okay. So go ahead, click that link, put your email in it, and you'll get my Guilt-Free Holidays ebook. Lots of Italian flair to all of my Italian recipes. Okay. If you want that. Secondly, while I'm finishing up here, is put in the chat, what did you find most valuable? What did you get from today? Those golden nuggets that are the takeaways. Because typically we remember 10% of what we learned. And when we recap the most important things, you tend to hold on to them longer in your brain. So go ahead and tell me in the chat, what did you find most valuable about our time together today? Go ahead and put in the chat. What did you find most valuable about our time together today? And, you know, I want to also make mention that through the holidays, people have traditional dishes that they make. And sometimes it's nice to stray from the traditional and do some non-traditional things. And things that you've not done or made before. Don't stress over anything either, right? We don't want to stress. We want to have a wonderful, happy holiday season full of making memories, new memories with your family, with your friends, and create new traditions. My sister moved here to Maryland a long time ago, and then she moved here in the 1990s, I think, and then I moved here in the year 2000, and our parents are up in Jersey. So we develop our own um, our own traditions is what I want to say. Like we have family game days, we have we call it the Dirty Santa gift exchange. So make your own memories. All right, Caitlin, what do they have in the chat as I'm finishing up with my sticky mess over here?
How healthy cranberries can be and anti-parasitic foods.
Okay. Anything else that y'all found most valuable? What about the fun aspect? Did anybody get the fun aspect out of all of this? I think it's a lot of fun. So good. I think. By the way, these put them in the refrigerator, and then if you want to give them as a gift, you can get some of these tins that you can get at the dollar store. Line them with some colored parchment paper. Don't use tissue paper, okay? Parchment paper and or some colored saran wrap, and you can give them as a nice gift or add them in with other cookies that you're going to make. So I would